Now's my chance. Haley is at her locker, and I go to mine. We rummage with our stuff in silence for a few seconds while I gather the necessary gumption to take a huge leap of faith. In my teen years, I would never attempt such a thing, too insecure. But here, I was 11, and still full of enough childlike joy and hope to make a drastic move of love. I lost my phone number. Can I have yours? Well, fine. I mean, whatever. This is a real human interaction that I initiated just before science class in 6th grade. Middle school was, will be, or is absolutely brutal. Sometimes it's for reasons totally beyond your control. Can I sharpen my pencil? But in a lot of ways, for me, I think it was my own fault. Case in point, delivering a pickup line that would only ever impress the people who write jokes for Laffy Taffy rappers. To this day, I still remember where I got that pickup line from. Thrillville for the PS2. It was a theme park builder and management game that wasn't too unlike the Roller Coaster Tycoon games. Except in Thrillville, you can run around and interact with guests, and you can even, guys, I'm not making this up, in Thrillville, you can flirt with the girls. And one of the things you could say was,
I lost my phone number. Can I have yours?
If you promise to use it.
I mean, short, sweet, with a call to action. How could this possibly fail? It worked like a charm on the virtual girl and theme park video game. Well, for me, it failed miserably, and I took it pretty hard. You know how when you were a kid and the most minor of social screw-ups felt like you just took a seat on the electric chair? I sat down in my next class, practically hyperventilating, my face tomato red from embarrassment, and I just felt like the sky was falling. How could I think that would work? How could I be so stupid? That girl from Thrillville just has low standards, but Haley, she's clearly a cut above. And I blew it. Oh my god, I have to fix this. Okay, if anyone asks, I did not use a pickup line on her. Yeah, okay, yeah. I think I have an idea.
Michael, do you know the answer?
10?
No, the correct answer is photosynthesis, but nice try.
So I came up with a plan right then and there to right my wrong, and it was way, way better than the plan that got me into this mess in the first place. Lunchtime rolled around, I'm in the cafeteria, and I see Haley among a group of like 30 other girls absolutely inhaling the drama being served up. One of these girls comes right up to me and asks me point blank,
You asked Haley for her phone number?
Little did she know, she walked right into my ironclad trap. What? No, I asked for her lead lumber. You know, a pencil? I needed a pencil.
You call pencils lead lumber?
Sometimes. It's just something I do.
Okay.
Boom! Saved my reputation in one easy move. I did not have a shortage of crushes during my time in middle school. And I think it's because when I was between elementary and middle school, I moved from North Carolina to Georgia, and everything felt brand new, and it kind of gave me main character syndrome. When we first moved into our new house in Georgia, the very next day, I decided to take a little stroll around my new neighborhood. So I walk from my house to the very next house over, and I see a girl around my age on the porch. Now, what you may not know about me is that I'm a pretty cheery, positive guy, and traits like that are turned up to 11 when you're 11. So I see her, and I go, hey.
What?
Just saying hi. Hi.
Hi.
Okay. For some reason, making friends in middle school isn't necessarily hard. Hey, do you like Pokemon? Yes. But it does come with a hell of a lot of caveats. You could be in 5th grade and have a really, really good friend. Let's just say you're friends with a dude named Jesse. So you and Jesse are certified homies. You're trading Hot Wheels cars, playing with Legos together, and if we were in middle school around the same time, then you may even have joint custody of a Nintendo. But then you get to 6th grade, and all of a sudden, your friendship now has terms and conditions. When it's just the two of you guys, you're pals. But then along comes, I don't know, Taylor, who Jesse hit it off with in math class yesterday. If this was still 5th grade, the three of you would simply be a group of friends. But because it's 6th grade, all of a sudden Jesse is not friends with you anymore. Jesse don't even like you anymore. He's like, who are you? Mike? Wow, that kind of sounds like the name of a guy who poops his pants a lot. I don't want to hang out with pants poopers, dude. Wait, that guy poops his pants? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that guy poops his pants. Oh, I'm not hanging out with a pants pooper. I'm out of here. Hey man, I poop my pants every now and then. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I do not poop my pants! How did that even work its way into this conversation? And by the way, we're almost teenagers. Pooping your pants is very much something to be ashamed of. I had a conditional friendship like that in middle school. I think it worked out that way because this friend I had, let's just call him Ben, was a really good friend of mine, but was a part of that crowd that was willing to do whatever they had to do to be considered cool by everyone else. They'd talk about smoking weed and getting drunk at parties and hooking up with girls and hitting the like button on this video because you made it pretty far and that must mean you like it, so go ahead and hit the like button and maybe subscribe while you're down there. All the stuff you think you're ready for but don't actually start experimenting with until you're at least like halfway through high school. I didn't like my first YouTube video until I was like a junior in high school. Ben and I were in a math class together in 7th grade, and for part of the semester, the teacher arranged the desks in little clusters for a group project or something. Ben was at my table, but so was this kid we'll call Jack. Jack was the kind of immature kid that causes teachers to drink after hours. He would interrupt the teacher with immature, stupid jokes, never shut up, and just constantly craved attention. Now, I wasn't a total goody two-shoes in middle school, but I was never the type to give teachers a hard time because I recognized it for the annoying behavior that it was. So when I got sat with Jack, I really wasn't thrilled. I don't remember how it came to this, but one day Jack is just laying into me, just going on about how I'm dumb and don't get any bitches or whatever. But then for some reason he fixated on how I'm not funny.
I've never even heard you make anyone laugh. You're so funny? Say something funny.
I don't know, I can't.
You can't think of anything funny, so you admit I'm funnier than you.
Yeah, I guess. So he turns to my alleged friend Ben and goes,
Why are you friends with him? He ain't even funny.
and Ben is just kind of chuckling along with everything he's saying.
Who are you even better friends with, me or him?
And Ben sheepishly points to Jack. And I'm like, what the hell, man? After school that day, I called his ass up and gave him a piece of my mind.
Dude, what the hell is up with you and Jack at math class? What, so you're better friends with him than me?
And he used the classic excuse. The excuse that has haunted me since my older brother figured out it's fun to pick on me. I was just joking, dude. Obviously, I'm better friends with you. Well, obviously, I should have stopped being his friend, but I was too young to know what self-respect was, so we stayed friends and I put up with a little more of that over the years. But you know how when a movie or a show portrays a bully engaging in bully behavior, and then a few scenes later it shows his terrible home life, and we as the audience go, oh, that's why he's a bully. Well, I had my own little scene like that with Jack. One day, my mom and I went to Steak and Shake, and I saw Jack across the restaurant, but he didn't see me. I mentioned to my mom that I knew the kid and that he's a douche canoe. After a few minutes, my mom says, that kid you don't like is gone now, and I know you don't like him, but I kind of feel bad for him. Why? He was there with his mom, and I don't think they exchanged a single word to each other. She was just on her phone the entire time. Like every time I looked, she was on her phone. Even when they were walking to their car, she was glued to her phone. So, haha. Fuck you, Jack. You may have bullied me in math class, but your parents don't give you ample attention at home, and that's why you act out in unhealthy ways. Ha ha ha. Now, but in all seriousness, it is sad when you put the pieces together like that. There's a million and one examples of how someone being hurtful to others is but a symptom of a way bigger issue that they're dealing with, but that's another topic for another video. I think the most surprising thing about my middle school experience is how we had a dance unit as part of our PE class every year. Now, whoever came up with this is evil enough.
Let's take the population of people that are at their most awkward, transformative, most insecure stages of their lives, middle schoolers, and make them dance.
But for some reason, they also thought it would be a good idea for the 6th grade unit to be the slow dance unit.
And we should have them slow dance too, when they're at their youngest.
Should we? Should we do that?
Yes, write it down.
So of course we all had partners, but we didn't even get to choose them. So if you're a guy and you have a good female friend, you can't even get with them to make this a little easier. Oh no, you're at the mercy of luck of the draw. So I got paired up with someone I will call Lindsay, and she was a stranger to me. Before we actually did any dancing, we watched the PE teachers demonstrate on each other. They talked about hand placement and distance and all that stuff. And the entire time, I am just a ball of anxiety. Up until this point in my little life, I don't even think I've touched a girl, much less danced intimately with one, much less one that I don't even know. But the time came. I put my hands on her waist, she put hers on my chest, and we awkwardly swayed. We talked a little, got to know each other, and she actually seemed really nice and really sweet. And after a few minutes, I realized this was just as awkward and nerve-wracking for her as it was for me, and being on that same level playing field with each other made things a little easier. Overall, solid 8 out of 10. I got to know a nice girl and I genuinely learned how to slow dance, which is great because I could not imagine another scenario where I would. So to whoever was on the school board around that time that made us learn how to slow dance in PE, thanks. but I'm not entirely convinced that you shouldn't be on a list. To wrap this up, I want to say if you're watching this and you're in middle school, which according to my audience data, you're probably not, but if you are, just hang in there. Middle school was probably the worst school years of my life for a lot more reasons than the one I've talked about here, and I think a lot of people would say the same. But hang in there, it'll be over before you know it, and high school is significantly better anyway. A little more freedom, classmates are a little more mature, and honestly, even the school lunches are better. Tell me about your middle school stories in the comments, good or bad. I'm interested to see how middle school treated you. Thanks for watching, especially my patrons. That's for you. Okay, actually one more thing real quick. Speaking of Patreon, I am releasing a long documentary, like almost an hour long, of how I did the Curtis collab video, if you've seen that. It's a whole behind the scenes like little thing where I talk about the entire process of how I nabbed Curtis as an interview guest, and just kind of my whole process from start to finish. It's kind of how I did this one as well. So if you're curious, if you've been on the fence about joining the Patreon, you can join as a little for just $1 a month. So all right, just wanted to say that. All right, bye.